Hello everyone, this is Kimmy Kim and welcome to my channel. Today I have a journal share. It's a custom Halloween journal that I made, and I know it's a little early to think about Halloween, but you know, when your birthday is on Halloween, you start really early. This is a custom order that a lovely lady got in touch with me. She had seen a video of mine from 4 years ago. I guess that popped up, and she wanted me to make the same one as much as possible. Well, we know how things change in retail and papers change. You know, the same paper pads aren't available. Things aren't just available anymore. So I was able to locate a few items. This in particular that's on the cover, this is a Martha Stewart that was sold at Michael's 4 years ago. So I did have a couple of them. I had one that I had used obviously on the journal, and then I was able to find one recently on eBay. So I was so lucky to find that, because that really made the whole journal look, you know, similar to the old one. So I did most everything that you'll see in here is all sewn around the trims and whatnot. So I'll start here. Let me see if we're in frame. We're in frame. So now let's see the side. It is a very chunky journal. I got ahead of myself, and I was like halfway through, and I was realizing, oh my gosh, I'm making so much ephemera. So many tags. It has a tie closure with sari silk, and this is Tim Holtz fabric. So I did cover it in fabric. She did want a dangle here, so I have a dangle with some really pretty charms. And let's just get into it. Let's see. These are kind of long, so you know, she's welcome to trim them, or you know, whatever she'd like to do with them. So I'm going to start here in the beginning. I'm not going to talk through the whole thing about all the trims, because pretty much it's self-explanatory. I sewed just about everything you'll see. So we have the crow here from a digital kit. This paper here, I believe, was from a vintage collection on, oh, where was it? I think it was scrapbook.com. Okay, so here is a little tear piece from a Tim Holtz collection, Halloween collection. Okay, this is just my business card. That's not to do with this, but and I have, this is a transparency table of skeleton that was Tim Holtz, and I backed this particular image. That was a digital kit. Now the digital kits are a mixture, because a lot of them were purchased years ago, and I don't remember who sadly sold them to me, or that I bought them from them. I did do a little scalloped trim here. I know it's really hard to see. Maybe if I take this out, you'll be able to see it. I just used a punch. There you go. You can see a little bit. It's kind of tough to see with the black paper. And I did leave all the strings. I left all the strings in my first one, so I went ahead and left all the strings in this one as well. This is so chunky. Like, I didn't really realize until I was completing it how chunky it truly is. You'll notice some of the pages are sewn and some are not. And we've got a pocket and a couple goodies. This is a Tim Holtz ephemera. Just a journaling card. And this is a Tim Holtz stencil here that I just stenciled in black. This is Tim Holtz. You're going to see a lot of Tim Holtz in this journal. This is from this year's collection, and it's made out of like a crepe paper, and just sewn down there. This is just a trim here that I found from actually some of the scrapbook paper that I have. A little bit of stenciling. You'll see light stenciling throughout. There's a little pocket here. And then this trim here is an old trim. Oh gosh, that's probably from 4 years ago. And I believe it was either Joann's or Michael's, one or the other. And I glued this down, little tablet here. We got the black roses. Whoops. So you're going to notice on some of the printables, those are the pages that I did the most of the sewing. So I love this witch and then the moth. Just gorgeous. Some more trim, another pocket. And I usually try to back them all with coffee or tea dyed paper. We'll just flip through this. There is, well, when I get to it, I'll tell you all about it. Let's see, some more stenciling. I love this tag here, and I just made it into a pocket. I did make quite a few tags throughout. And just put some sari silk and charms, little Halloween charms, on a bulb pin, and backed them. A happy Halloween. Oh, and I wish I could think of the name of the kit that had the Halloween labels. Oh my gosh, they were so much fun. And here, this is just paper clipped in. Actually, it was supposed to be paper clipped in. It looks like I missed the page completely. It's just a little tag with the little charm. I love the skeleton charm. And just a little bit of eyelash trim. And these here. Okay, we'll see here. See if I can get this in the right way this time. Okay, and I paper clipped this in as well. I wanted to have a little bit of eyelash trim throughout, so I just put them on little Tim Holtz paper clips. This I thought was the coolest thing ever. It's actually adhesive. It's like a great big blingy sticker, I guess. But the adhesive on it, that was what I was about to tell you. I'm a little disappointed because the adhesive is so strong on it, and it's not what I put on it, it's what was on the sticker itself. And I had already laid it down. It has such a strong adhesive smell that I don't know how to get rid of that. If anyone knows, if anyone has a trick that they want to share with me, please let me know before I send this out. Because I'm really disappointed. I'd love my journals to have a really, really nice, pretty smell. And, you know, this is a fall season, so I would have had like a fall type scent with it, in the bag with it. And I just can't seem to get rid of the adhesive smell, which is really disappointing. And of course it's sewn. Some more tags. I love this little jack-o'-lantern. And this is a little black cat curse. Let's see. Oh, and I love how Tim Holtz had this. It's a vellum. This one's a vellum. And it kind of went with the fortune teller page. So that worked out really well. I just sewed around the vellum and transparency sheets to give it a little something. These are the little labels that I was telling you about. I used a bunch of labels here that I just love. This one's from a different kit. If I can think of what kits these are in, I'll be happy to link them. Offhand, I don't really know. There we go. I know this one was a really old one. This one might be a newer one. This says Full Moon Pumpkins. And I did sew over. It does have the images of like a sewn stitch, but I did sew over it. I just love all the strings and just the look of things sewn. I never, I believe the first version that Deb, the nice lady who purchased this book, the version that she saw, I didn't have a sewing machine. I didn't sew back then. So I'm hoping that she'll really, I'm videotaping this early, but she will not see it until she receives it at her home. So, yeah, I just wanted to add that because this version is all sewn, and the older version, I didn't have a sewing machine. So I didn't, have that extra something. So hopefully she'll like that change. And that is just an image that I printed on vellum. Another witch. Little trim. And this is just paper clipped in with the little the eyelash trim. And this was some more trim from a scrapbook page. It's that little piece that I kind of used it as like a washi. You have a 12 by 12 sheet, and sometimes they have a little trim and like a hole where it's punched. It has a little hole punch, and you always cut that off. And well, I do anyway. And that's what this is from. So I just kind of used it as a little piece of washi because it's just so cute. I didn't want to waste it. This is part of the pack of trim that I got. I'm pretty sure it was Joann's. I love the owl and the moon. This is paper clipped in. Little bat charm. Little extra tags. This was from that little set of tags. It's so cute. I loved all the tags. More trim. Lots of little trims to add to the page. Cute. I love this little vintage look. And this is actually, this charm is a witch with the cauldron. So cute. Stirring the pot. It's so cute. Or the cauldron, rather. It's fun. Halloween's a fun time for me. Not only because it's my birthday, but because it's just fun. It's just been a fun tradition since I was a little girl. This is the other side of that vellum page. It's just always been so much fun since I was little. My parents always made it a great time. I'm sure a lot of it had to do with my birthday, but let's see. Some of these charms are heavy and the little ball pin switches on me. And I loved how it's had the skeleton dance tag, or label rather, and I had the skeleton charm. It just fit perfect. And here's another, the magic lady, the dragon skin. There you go. Let's see if I can get these back in. I just really try to stuff the pockets when I can. And this one seems to be maybe a little overstuffed. But it's fun. Fun times. And you'll see I have some material through the binding. It's a hidden binding. Because I did use, for the cover, it's chipboard. So it was a hard, and I love this hardcover rather. And I love the vintage page here. It flips upside down, but that's just kind of how it happens. And I love because it's two-sided paper. And look at this. It's the girl, I'm assuming is a witch, with her little witch hat. And she's on the broomstick. And then there was a broomstick charm. My friend Tammy had them, and I'm so lucky she had them to add to my journal. Such a great little touch. That's kind of like a little haunted house. Again, that's one of the vellum sheets. I love that. Oh, and that's the scalloped. You can see it a lot better with this paper. I love that little witch's broom is just too stinking cute. Happy haunting. Let's see. And this is just a little flip. Some Tim Holtz paper. And then my tea-dyed paper. And I am trying to think, I think that's Tim Holtz as well, actually. Another image on vellum. And I love it. It just kind of went with the witch, and then there's the witch here with her broom. Oh, this isn't Tim Holtz paper. This is actually, yeah, that was one of the old pads of paper I had from 4 years ago. Couldn't believe I still had some. The transparency and a little skeleton sewn and backed, of course, with a little charm. This here is from a Tim Holtz, some of his ephemera. It's a harder piece. It's not his thin ephemera. It's, I forget what he calls it. There's a name for it, but I sewed the bag to add a little interest there. And isn't she just so cute with her kitty? I love it. And then another little girl with the kitty. She looks the same. She's got the same haircut. It's just that whole vintage time. Oh, I sound congested again. I feel like I'm sinusy again. The witches. That trim again. Tim Holtz trim. This was fun. Another label, and that was actually a stamp. I think it was a recollection stamp, actually. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. And then the frame is a Joann's frame. They sell them. Trying to think, there's a section that they have these. I think it's in the little area where they have the bins and you can pick out all the bargains. They had lots of these. And this is just an envelope that I used as a flip and put, let's see, we'll move this, and put a little label, a Merry Halloween, stuck a little tag in there so she can put other goodies in there, and this is a definition of Halloween and the pronunciation. This is attached with the Tim Holtz clip, and I just made a little tag, used a little label, did a little embossing, and stuck some more little definitions. Bat and tree, and some more trim. So yeah, it's pretty chunky. May the blackest cat you've ever seen bring you good luck this Halloween. It's so cute. I love it. I don't know if y'all remember, or if you ever, if you did celebrate Halloween or do, and the bobbing for apples. Oh my gosh. And I remember back then, I'm thinking back then when I was little, we had a bowl, like a bowl of water, and you bobbed for apples. Of course, no one would probably do that now with, everyone being germaphobes. So it's like nothing wrong with that, because I've become one too. So, but it's just, traditions that we used to have, such as like when we drank out of the hose, the water hose out in the backyard, so many different things that have changed. But I do remember the bobbing for apples. It was so much fun. And this one I just did a little divot. Happy Halloween greetings. And I have to have my black cats, because, gotta love your cats. There. Another vellum page. It's that same little girl. And here I just thought it was kind of spooky. Tim Holtz, it's another vellum piece. This was a Tim Holtz piece. Ephemera. See, it's more like, it's really thick. It's way thicker than cardstock. Then I just put some labels on there. That one just flipped right over it. But I was going to cut it off, but it had the ghost. And I thought, how cute is that? So I left it there. Let's see, how did I have this? And I do have a ton of strings everywhere. It is I made it where there's plenty of room to stuff it really good. Excuse my arm reach. I'm actually standing up doing this because I just want to make sure it's in frame for y'all. And I just love that image. I just made that, put some black lace around it. It's just kind of like card. I think this was made out of, oh gosh, I don't know, some type of cardstock, but I lined it and it's just a really, really sturdy card. Another, I love the little girl. She's on a lot of the things because it is kind of geared towards a vintage Christmas, or Christmas. Oh my gosh, I'm ahead of the game, y'all. Christmas. Vintage Halloween. Oh my gosh, I must have Christmas on the brain. You know, well, I'll finish this first before I tell my story. The Halloween greetings. I love the owl. So I was going to say, today my daughter and I went to it was it's like a sunflower field, and you could pick your own sunflowers. And so I was looking for little Christmas gifts from the little craft booths. So that's, I think, why I had Christmas on the brain. I'm not the best at tying bows, but we get the picture. So there you have it, y'all. Thanks for watching, and this is my first and most likely my only Halloween journal, custom journal I'll be able to do this year, because I will be traveling to Oklahoma in about a week, and it's very exciting. Have some surprises up my sleeve for y'all, and so you'll be seeing some little, hopefully, if everything goes right and I'm able to be tech savvy enough to film little movie clips of my trip when I'm in Oklahoma, and share with y'all why I'm in Oklahoma, who I'm with in Oklahoma, and what we're doing. So stay tuned and make sure you watch my videos and click the little bell so you can see what's up and coming. So probably in a couple weeks you'll start seeing me trickle those little videos in, and so they won't be very crafty in nature, I don't think, but they will be, I promise you, something fun and exciting. So yeah, click the like and click on the bell, and share that time with me, because I'm looking forward to it. It's a little mini vacation. Well, it's for 3 weeks, so it's not really a mini vacation. It is quite a long time, but it's going to be a good time, and visiting someone that I haven't seen in 8 or 9 years. So someone that y'all may or may not know here on YouTube. That's your hint. So stay tuned. Y'all be kind to one another and be safe out there. See you soon.